キュアを作った次の年にリングという映画が日本でも公開されて、これが大ヒットして、そこからなんか日本のホラー映画が日本だけではない世間にも広まっていったんですけど、そうなる1年前でした。キュアが出たのは。ですから全然日本のホラー映画がどうしたといったような話題には全くつながっていません。キュアは。
どうしたの？何があったの？
ただそうですね、ですから別に日本でもいわゆるヒットしたということは全くありませんし、割と小規模な上映で終わったと思います。評価もちょっと忘れましたけど、そんなに圧倒的に評価されたということはありません。ただ一つキュア、日本においてキュアの成果があったとしたら、やっぱり役所広司さんっていう、それまでは2枚目で彼はスターですけども、やはりどちらかというと善人を演じることが多かった彼が、本当に精神をもう病んでいるか病んでいないかギリギリのところで非常に危ない状態にある刑事という非常に特色のある役をやって、彼の役所広司がこんな役もやるんだということで、彼のへの注目度はキュアで日本でも、非常に高まったように思います。
紹介してもらった病院に通ってる。だいぶ良くなった。そうか。ように見える。本当のところは分からん。
そうですね、やはりとにかくうまい方で、キュアのようなかなり偏った役もやれば、本当に善人の普通のに生きている人も役もやる、すごく幅の広い、演技の幅の広い方だなというのが、一番の彼の魅力だと思います。それでいてパッと見やはりスター、いかにもそうですね、スターらしいある種のオーラといいますか、やっぱ僕ずっと見ていたいっていう欲望を沸かせるある種の輝きがやはりある方なんですね。だから本当に魅力的だなと思っています。で一個だけ付け加えます。ただやっぱり彼を何度もやっている最大の理由は僕と同い年だからです。付け加えますと、ですから会っていて大体話題同じ世代で話が合うということと、僕自分自身を自分の映画の中に反映させようとは思っていないんですが、やっぱり時としてこの人は自分と大体同じようなポジションだなと思う人物が主人公であったり脇役であったりで出てくることがあるんですね。と年齢も大体自分の年齢と同じぐらいの年齢に設定する。すると 大体役所広司さんになってくるっていう。
あんたの話が聞きたい。ケイさん、俺の声聞こえてる？聞こえてるよね。それがあんたが特別な人間である証拠だ。
単に人を殺すだけならここまでやる必要はないでしょうから。
なぜあんな殺し方したんですか？誰かから聞いたとか。
催眠暗示か。
可能性あるか。
犯罪はいつも特別な意味があるように見える。大体無意味だ。
そんなつもりはない。俺はただ犯罪を説明する言葉を探してる。
この人はどうです？
知らない。
これはあなたですよ。
前は俺の中にあったものが今全部外にある。その代わり俺自身は空っぽになった。
Toronto, Cannes, Berlin, and Sundance. Everybody chat about good movies. Chat about good movies. Chat about good movies. Good movies. Good movies. Oh, hello and welcome to the Good Movie Chat About, where we have good chats about good movies with good guests. I'm Lord Goo Goo, also known as Bobby, and we're here to chat about some good movies. Welcome, and feel free to follow if you're not yet, and even subscribe if you like what you see. Tonight, I am joined by a renowned journalist who has been published in the New York Times, Defector, and more. She also streams these days at twitch.tv/Libtron, and just started a hilarious podcast, What's All This Then, with the wonderful Charlotte McDonald. It's none other than Libby Watson. Note, update intro for Mike. Oh, okay, I fucked that up. Okay, sorry. I should have realized that earlier. Hang on, I have an actual intro for you as well. I mean, look, everyone, it's from your Kickstarter Sucks, and as well as Howl's Movie Night, and both my wife and my pick for funniest person on the planet. Why, it's none other than Mike DB Hale. Mike, thank you so much for joining.
What's going on?
Good to see you. Good to see you, my good sir. The first question I always ask, because, you know, movies, you need concessions, you need... Yes, thank you for the follower, username Haver. And we have our special follow alert for the for this week. Oh, I should add, I do have one special feature. I have it priced really low because I actually want people to do it. So for 10, if you donate 10 bits, because this movie has some subliminal messaging in it. I don't know if you noticed, Mike. There's some subliminal shots.
I read that, yeah.
So I have subliminal images as well enabled here, so you'll see them if somebody donates 10 bits. So that's available to you. Anyway.
Everyone.
There we go.
Have a great day.
We got a subliminal image right there, so who knows what we could see.
I feel like I want to fart in my car.
That's right. Joey is the cure, very much. I have a Coke Zero. Do you have a beverage or a concession to for your movie chatting?
I'm having some water with a leaky lid.
Very nice. I also have water. I think my lid is good, but here, I'll test it live on stream. Oh, look at that. Fuck. That's extreme extreme streaming to chance it.
I had that Sprite plus tea the other day.
I keep hearing about this.
You have that?
Yeah, no, I haven't had it yet because but I hear JF keeps talking about it and Stefan and stuff, so I really do want to try that one. I do have I'm finishing up actually. I need to go get more maybe. My second 12 pack of Orange Cream Coke Zero.
That stuff's good.
That is really good. It's oh, DB too quiet. Okay, thank you. Let me boost him.
The zero sugar sodas, they knocked it out of the park.
They really did. They really did. Yeah, because I was never I bring this because I talk about concessions every week. I bring this up every week that I have given up sugary beverages now for a couple of months actually at this point.
Yeah.
And it's really great. And I'm just a lot of iced tea. And I've never liked diet though, like Diet Coke, like the aspartame.
Yeah, it never hit.
The aftertaste is too bad. Whereas the Zero, it does have the aftertaste.
Whatever this new chemical is.
Yeah, whatever.
Putting into this stuff.
I'm gonna find out how it's
Give me
killing
some
me
more.
later, but for now.
Yeah, that's for later.
Exactly. Yeah, it still has the aftertaste. Like you still do, but it's just not that bad, and it's just you know, it's better. Oh, I do also one more thing. Speaking of JF, because he always is also talking about Rucking Fountain. I just got my first Rucking Fountain shirt, and it's really fucking
cute.
awesome.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and even on the back, it's gonna get keyed out, but it's
I like that.
Yeah. So, really, I was really excited to wear this. I was like, I'm saving it for the movie stream. This shirt. So I think you told me that you watched this last night. What was the last movie you watched? If that was it, what was it before then?
Actually, after this, I watched Mother, which I feel like I had seen before.
The
but,
Aronofsky.
Yeah. But
what'd you think of that one? I'm not big on Aronofsky. He's not one of my guys.
yeah, it was okay. It was like, yeah, I get it. You know, I see what you're doing here. It's fine. It's
That's
whatever.
what I'm always out. I think the first movie with him where I was out on him was The Fountain, which some people love The Fountain, but I remember like renting it in college. Like I got it from the Netflix, like the disc came in the envelope and everything, and just watching it. And I don't think I even finished it because it just, and I was even high and everything, but it just didn't even. I was like, I don't even want to finish this. It's just annoying me.
I think I brought it up on like 3 different podcasts, but the David DeCoteau movie 90210 Shark Attack was the last one that I watched before that. It was just it's incomprehensible, but barely a movie.
And so this David DeCoteau, that's the talking cat guy, right? That's
yeah.
And also softcore gay porn, right?
Yeah, he's so good, man. There's a lot of shots of the guys like bathing and stuff like that.
You know, and, I think you need to be able to work in high and low art and everything, and it's really important. I'm really curious how do you go about finding some of these guys? I mean, like I know that like, you know, the talking cats and all that kind of stuff kind of bubble up, but like, where do you go when you're looking for your really bad shit or your really underground, nobody's watched this shit?
Man, going through like I don't do Letterboxd or anything because I don't have I have the brain of a goldfish.
Right.
So I
well,
just
that's why Letterboxd is good for, because it's
I
like,
know.
What did I watch?
But it's like doing like a book report,
right?
And stuff on it. And it's like
you don't have to write the review.
Man.
I know a lot of people that literally don't even star rate it, don't even say whether they liked it. They're like, I watched this.
Just going down to IMDb lists and stuff like that, and like
sort by lowest.
Yeah. But also, I mean, great feature on Plex. One of the only good features I think is that you can click on like a director's name and stuff.
Yes.
And search
or
the whole
actor,
filmography and stuff. And
yeah, I'm on.
It's handy.
My one friend's Plex server. I don't know how it stacks up to yours, but it's pretty impressive. And just being able to go, like, literally being like, that actor was really good. What else are they in? And then just being able to here are other movies that are also on this Plex server.
Yeah, you would never know about any of them. It's so crazy. It's so nice to find out like a new piece of crap.
Yeah, I mean that is like, it's really really fun. And I do have an appreciation for the so bad it's good type of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, my tastes are a bit basic though for that, you know. Like I like the stuff that everybody thinks is so bad. It's like Cats and Madam Web.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are kind of, you know, more middle of the road maybe. But I mean, I think the worst movie actually that I've ever seen was you motherfuckers made me watch it for. I mean, it make me, but it was the thanks for the follow. It was the one with Michael Jackson, the
Oh, dude, I was just
Girls.
about to
Miss
say that was one
Castaway.
of my best finds of all time. 'Cause I was so
Well, I mean-
stoked when I found that because it was so shitty.
It was like I couldn't believe how continually bad it was. Just
Yeah.
every scene, every moment, the writing, like everything.
One of a kind, man. Like that, and like Cool Cat and stuff like that.
Oh,
Just
yes.
very, very unique.
Yeah.
How does it even happen? It's so crazy.
I know. I mean, and it's such a departure for me in a way because especially like I'm not gonna lie, like I really when I'm looking for movies, I look for the good shit. Like especially now that I've been on like this movie kick for the past few years of just wanting to watch or just like get a quick glance across like all of film history as much as I can. I mean, it basically just means I have a Criterion subscription and I'm a pretentious asshole. But it's really fun to just be able to like see, oh, what's this country's, you know, what's like Polish new wave like or whatever, just and explore that. But you are more on the opposite extreme. You're down in the swamps.
Yeah. I just like I don't know. I like crap.
Well, I'm not saying that that's better or worse. I mean, I think that it's actually braver. You're in uncharted waters a lot of the time. But I also know that you don't like the stuff that's like trying for that, right?
Yeah, there's a stark difference. I feel like you know, the fucking sci-fi
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right.
Sharknado type stuff. You know, the copycat stuff. That's
Yes, once they were
really
doing Sharknado
stupid.
like 3 and 4, where it was like
I don't know.
actual stars trying to get in it. It's like, what do you?
Yeah.
Like it's lost all the fun of that. I mean, there's so much better when, you know, I haven't. Okay, E.B. Farnham's asking if I've seen American Movie, and I actually have not, and I think I will for this show at some point. Have you seen that, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the time to catch up on stuff. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that Jesse and I were just talking about this that he's never seen, like a lot of these classic movies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Good time to catch up on.
Yeah, exactly, because you know we might all be.
World's about to end. So
Just have your own source of
hurry
power to keep your shit going. I do have a lot of. I have been building my physical media, so I just need a generator to shit off of, and I have all the physical media now. Yeah, I know American Movie is one I've really been interested in. I don't know why. It's like one I've put off. There's sometimes you're like, I know I'm probably gonna really like this, and I kind of want to put it off for like just a day that I can devote to it or something. Even though it's like a short movie. Like I remember I watched Hoop Dreams a few months ago for the first time, which is a 3-hour movie, and it's a documentary, but it is so good. It is so good. It's like just the most engrossing like miniseries almost. That's like real life and. Nice. It's just an amazing movie about these kids wanting to be pro basketball players, and you see how they're both very poor and how they get fucked over by the system and stuff, and it's all that kind of good stuff. I don't know why I brought that up. I think it was just like that was like when I'd been meaning to watch forever, and then I finally. I mean, that was really it. This week I actually watched a couple. So I was getting prepared for this discussion today because so I am a bit of especially for movies, a Japanophile in terms of like I love Japanese cinema of all genres, all time periods. And on the show here, we've now talked a few times about classic era, Japanese film with Hale came on for, I think, the most classic Japanese film, Seven Samurai, which you've seen that, DB? Have you? Yeah, right. Because I mean, that movie's fucking awesome. And We had Luke on for Harakiri, and and then my friend Alex was on for Ikiru, the very first episode. And then Pat was on for a Japanese new wave film called Demon Pond. And so now, but this one is like the first time in the modern era. So I was watching a lot of I was watching movies by this guy, Hirokazu Koreeda, who has been directing movies for a while. He directed a movie in the 90s called Afterlife. But I watched a movie of his called Monster, which was quite good. And I can't remember. Abby, what was the other one we watched? Anyway, I was just like, I want to like kind of jump around more with like some modern Japanese stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you venture to other countries in your viewing a lot ever? Broker, thank you.
Yeah, or sometimes I'll do like by decade and be like sort it out by like a year and stuff. Like what are the 1981 or whatever, and then figure out all the movies that were released in 1981 and go through it. And if it sounds, good, or if the artwork looks good, maybe I'll check it out.
The early 80s, to me, that to me is the era of canon films.
Yes.
Which I know you are a connoisseur.
Big fan.
I've been a big fan ever since I watched, of the movies individually, but just everything about the studio. There was a pretty good documentary called, I think it was called Electric Boogaloo, maybe, or something like that. Just about Menahem Golan and Golan Globus, and
I feel like I've maybe seen that.
It's really, really good, because just everything about those guys and how they sort of operated, like they would go to Cannes, like they basically just like did all of their work for the year during the Cannes Film Festival. They would have like a yacht or whatever that people would come on, and then they would have these like portfolio binders that were huge, and it was all the movies they were selling, and they would just be these big posters that would just be like Spider-Man in space, and it was just like the title and the concept or whatever, and it was just like, you want to give us money to make this? And they just made so much crap. But they also released some like classics too. They also released a couple of actually I was watching one recently, Runaway Train. Have you seen Runaway Train with John Voight and Eric Roberts?
I don't think so.
It's a young Eric Roberts.
Man, how fucking great is he, huh?
Well, that's the thing, is he actually, when he was young, he was really good. He was in this other Bob Fosse movie called Star 80, which is a real depressing movie, but he's incredible in it. And he was like a real talent, but I think he was also a mess, is the thing. And then his sister got much more famous than him.
This one is on my list.
Yeah, it's okay. What's interesting about it is that the screenplay actually, one of the screenplay credits is Akira Kurosawa. No relation to Kiyoshi Kurosawa, who we'll be talking to today, but he was originally going to do it, but like, I can't remember why he like couldn't make it in Japan for some reason. Wow. And then this like Russian director wanted to do it, and he got the money from Canon to actually make it. And some of the train stuff is cool. I mean, it's fine. But what's crazy about it was that both of them, both John Voight and Eric Roberts, were nominated for Academy Awards for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor. So Eric Roberts is an Academy Award nominated actor. Next time you see him,
unbelievable. Yeah.
Phoning in the voice acting for the cat.
The Wrong Surgeon, or whatever the fuck those movies were. Did you watch any of those? The Wrong or My Doctor?
No, I don't think I've seen the Wrong ones. I've only seen the Talking Cat and the Talking
There's like two separate
horse.
ones. I'm mixing them up. Shit, there's one with Vivica A. Fox was like the wrong real estate agent.
Stalked by My Doctor.
Hey,
Howell.
Stalked by My Doctor. Yes, there we go.
Howell, thanks for tuning in. Duran, this is a very funny. Duran saw at the pedicure place the other day, Eric Roberts was on a movie playing an Agent Smith type kung fu guy whose fighting prowess comes from his AI sunglasses, and it's called DOA, and I think it's based on a video game. Now that sounds good. Now that I gotta check out. The AI from the sunglasses. Now that is amazing. But DB, how often? So like, but I know that you also like you don't just like crap. Like you watch a lot of, especially like, the horror genre or that type of stuff. You like a good movie. What's your balance? Like, how often are you like, I actually think I want to watch something good tonight?
Every so often, you got to go look at those ones that you've never seen. Like fuck, what are some ones I've recently seen? I had never seen Night of the Hunter until I was like 30 something, so that was crazy.
I just watched that for the first time a few years ago myself. That is an amazing movie.
It's so good.
And everything about old man penis too. I mean, that's just like half of the images in the DB's hard drive are named that. Shit, I got derailed by old man penis too. What movie were you just talking about?
Night of the Hunter.
Oh, Night of the Hunter. Oh, right, Charles Lawton. I love that guy. And that's the only movie he directed. But his acting, if you've ever seen like his acting work, is also worth checking out. The movie Witness for the Prosecution. He like plays this really bitchy old lawyer who's like, he's supposed to be sick and recovering, but he's like, he gets this really juicy case that he like has to argue, and so there's like all this. He gets to be like, his nurse keeps like berating him to like not go out and take his pills or whatever, and he's like, fuck off. He's like really funny. He's a great, I mean, also Hobson's Choice. He's an amazing actor, but Night of the Hunter did so bad. Like, it was reviled when it was released because people were like, it's way too dark. It's way too fucked up.
Crazy.
And like amoral or something. But yeah, now it's a classic. That is a movie that I would recommend. I mean, I think that's a future chat about film for sure.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
That's a real good one. Now, so where are you looking to venture next in your journey? I mean, so what are some of the other ones that you're like on the docket that you've always been wanting to, get into, or any like genres or decades or things like that?
Yeah, I'll just get into like a mood and just do all 70s stuff. Like a couple weeks ago, I watched Charlie Varick and Point Blank in The Outfit.
I've not seen those ones.
Yeah. Lee Marvin ones.
Okay,
60s,
cool.
70s. So
yeah, I mean,
once in a while,
70s was like the first like old like decade of movies that I got me like excited.
Yeah.
Like, that was like even like 10 or 15 years ago, I was already like really into like Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
Or when I watched
another good one.
Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, the original, like those things, like just the gritty New York shit. I really like French Connection, like that type of stuff. Love William Friedkin. Have you seen Sorcerer? I assume.
Yeah.
That's another great one.
Yeah.
Another great one.
A lot of random shit on my watch list. Inframan, 1975. Force of Evil, 1948. Curse of the Demon. Body Melt, also. I think that's a rewatch for sure.
I don't know Body Melt.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Messiah.
Have you ever watched some of the Hong Kong shit?
Yeah, like was it Mr. Vampire and all that?
Yeah, Mr. Vampire, Encounters of the Spooky Kind.
Yeah.
The Boxer's Omen. Have you seen that one?
I don't think that I.
You should check that one out. That was in one of my. So I have the Arrow Video released some Shawscope collections. I've gotten everyone, and I think that was in volume 2. Has the Boxer's Omen, and it has a lot of. I remember watching it and being like, I think this is almost like Mike Tober feeling. Like there's a lot of practical oozing, shit and effects like that. Another one like that, the Sammo Hung movie, it's called Knockabout, I think. That one's more funny and just like a kung fu movie, but that also has a bunch of like, there's a scene where somebody's like getting repeatedly kicked, and like every time it cuts back to them, they have like a different huge welt like on them, like it's covered in like these. Anyway, it's a bunch of shit like that.
Riccio, you ever watch that?
Oh yeah, Riccio, Story of Ricky.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, the end of that movie, like how he like just finally breaks, just punching through the
So
wall.
good.
God, yeah, no, that's an amazing. I mean, any movie that has like upwards of like more than a dozen people that get their bones shattered by just like punching through their like limb, like that's great shit. Ooh, the seventh curse. I don't know if
The
I've heard of
seventh
that
curse.
word. But yeah, I mean,
1986.
there's a like because Hong Kong also has a bunch of that like especially that like 80s cinema, you know, thinking of even like the hugest movies like Police Story and stuff like were so fucking dangerous to make. Like they don't like they didn't really, especially at that time, they didn't have any safety whatsoever. And they would just actually do the shit. Like they would actually blow the shit up and destroy the whatever shack village in the beginning of Police Story. They like just actually destroyed the shanty town. And that's the good shit when you're really doing it.
Now it's all
Seventh
woke.
Curse is the same director. Yeah, now everything's woke. Now it's all woke. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, I kind of, you know, this week I'm eager to just get into talking about the fucking movie because this is one I've seen several times. I watched it for the first time, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I've just loved it since then. But we're talking about Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cure. Mike, what did you think of the movie?
This is one like we were talking about before that I had never seen before. It was always on the list because everybody raved about it.
Yeah, this is
And,
one I always tell people when they're like, "Oh, what's like a good Japanese movie?" I'm like, "Have you seen Cure?"
Yeah.
That's like the first question I always ask.
Yeah, but very, very good. I thought
Nice,
extremely good.
Okay, I haven't yet had someone be like, "I don't really like it." Which actually, no, the closest was actually JF. He still liked his movie.
What was the movie?
Michael Clayton was what he picked. And he picked it specifically because Stefan had been annoying him to watch it. So he was like, two birds, one stone. And he did like it, but he was just like, I just didn't get why it's like this is an Academy Award winning movie or nominated. And he was completely in Nick Weiger voice. Wow, thanks for the follow. He was completely surprised that Tilda Swinton specifically won for Michael Clayton, which I was like, what? I mean, I thought she was great. I don't know. He was like, what? Why is that? What wins? So I mean, it was fun. It was a great conversation.
Everyone, have a great day.
Oh, thanks for the subliminal image, Dog Kisser. Another one, another Joey. I want to have. I forget. Is that the football?
I need a chili though.
Yeah, I need to have a whole spread for the big game. So this is a really cool movie, I think, because. And this was something that I found in the Koreeda movie that I watched, Monster, that I really liked, that did as well, where it reframes what type of movie you think you're watching, like, during it, you know? Like, it starts off as, like, a police procedural, then you start to get the horror, the psychological horror of it, and then the movie itself is, like, an unreliable narrator. Like, what you're watching, you are actually doubting as well, which is just a very cool experience. Was that an enjoyable journey for you as well?
I liked it a lot. It was giving 7.
Yes, I actually wrote down 7 vibes in my notes as well. I mean, yeah, especially when it's like, and I think that's like sort of those first 2 sections, right? Where it's like, and then I think where it gets really great and where I would like put it over the edge over 7 is that it goes like even further. Like it like gets you off kilter, like even more, like as a viewer. And it's a little less direct, maybe. But I still like 7. I don't need to talk shit on 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was the movie, actually, that really made Kiyoshi Kurosawa. He's a very respected director. He's one of the great Japanese directors. And he's still releasing movies today. But this was kind of the movie that took him out of... like made him like a real director to like respect in a real way, because before this, actually, he was making your kind of movies, where he was making direct to video Yakuza movies, like low budget, and he had actually started like a whole series of them, and this was all in one of the conversations I watched. I watched all my special features on the Criterion. I'd already watched all of these ones, but I rewatched them. Yeah, V Cinema. That's right, Young Comic Sans. And he had actually started like an entire series, and he did the first 2 chapters of it, and was trying to get approved to do the 3rd and 4th chapters, and then like he had it all lined up, and then the studio went bankrupt, and so he went to Dai, who are the studio that made this, and he like asked them to make these 2 sequels, and they're like, sure. And he's like, I also have this plot synopsis for this other thing, and that was Cure, and they really got excited about that, and they're like, you make this movie first. And somehow like he just he put his whole Kiyoshusi into it, like in terms of just being so assured in how he directed it. Like he did a lot of things that like are pretty bold. Like he did as few takes as possible throughout. He wanted it to kind of like the actors to be on edge, like themselves, about knowing he doesn't want to do that many takes. Like, so if something goes wrong, you're supposed to, or doesn't go exactly how you hope, you just have to kind of keep going with it. And so they would just like do the blocking like setup where like this is where the camera moves, this is where where you move or whatever. And he would want to even film those rehearsals because he's like, I just want to just like film everything and just get done in as few takes as possible. And it's knowing that a lot of these really long take scenes were done in just a few takes is really something.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of them. We're talking Koji Yakusho as the star here. This is another one of the great Japanese actors. He's also still acting. He was actually recently seen in a great Wim Wenders movie called Perfect Days, where he plays a toilet cleaner. It's a good movie. And this is also a big movie for him becoming like a really big Japanese star. Even though it wasn't a huge initial success, it really like opened up people's impression of like what type of acting he can do, and I think it made him more of like a serious actor, whereas before he was kind of like, hey, he's a nice guy, he's playing like just a kind of good guy type. Although he's also in, have you ever seen Tampopo, Mike?
Yes, I have actually. I think I have a memory of watching that with my friend in like high school.
Oh, okay. What was your reaction to that in high school?
We were like, that's weird, huh? It's about like a guy making ramen or something.
Yeah, well, right. It's about this woman that wants to be the best ramen chef she can be.
Yeah.
But we
didn't get it at the time.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's also a whole framing device in it. I don't know if you remember, where it starts off in a movie theater and there's a guy and he's like, he has his hot girlfriend. And they go and sit in the front row, and then he comes up and he like talks directly to the camera. And then there's also, of course, the later sex scene with like where like they have the shrimp or whatever, and they like put it. And that's Koji Yakusho. He's in that. That's him in that sort of B plot of the movie, because it's all these like unrelated little scenes and plots and stuff. So I've always just been a huge fan of him. He's and I also loved that little, the egg kiss, the clip of Kiyoshi Kurosawa that I played before the stream, where he's talking about him and he says he's so attractive too. Like Kiyoshi thinks he's a hottie. I mean, he is. He's a good-looking guy. But so this was the first time that Kiyoshi Kurosawa and Koji Yakusho worked together, and they've since done like 6 or 7 movies since then. And something that I think it was in even that clip the same clip that we watched before the stream, and in every interview about this movie that I've seen with either Koji Yakusho or Kiyoshi Kurosawa, they mention that they're the same age, that they were born the same year, and so they like get each other. And basically Kiyoshi Kurosawa, he's like his self-insert guy. Like he plays Kiyoshi in the movies, or at least like that's the character he sees himself in, or whatever. So he's it's an interesting kind of relationship. Actually, I just watched another movie this week by the newest David Cronenberg movie, The Shrouds.
Yes, I have not seen that yet.
I don't know if
Good? Not
I
good?
mean, I liked it. I did, but I also was like, huh, like it's a weird movie. But
Yeah.
what's interesting about it is it's the first movie I think that Cronenberg is making, or one of the first since his wife died, and his wife was also a collaborator with him on these movies. So too, like she was the costume designer, I think.
Did you like Crimes of the Future?
I did like Crimes of the Future.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was like surprising because it's like a fun hang, and then it's like really short somehow, and then like afterwards you're like, oh, that was it. But it's like it stays with you in a weird way, and I really loved Kristen Stewart in it with her weird little like whisper talking. I mean, I like that shit. I love an actor making a really annoying choice. I'm gonna love it. And I like eating plastic as well, just conceptually. But in The Shrouds, Vincent Cassel plays a character. I don't know. Do you look up real quick what Vincent Cassel looks like in The Shrouds? And tell me if he looks like anyone to you. Here, I'll pull it up on. Yeah, here we go. Like,
Yeah.
he is. It's giving.
That's funny.
It's giving the man himself. It's giving David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Like, he looks so much. He's got the haircut.
Mm.
It's like the same face shape.
Yeah.
So, and then the movie's all about death, and his wife is dead, and it's about like he owns this high-tech graveyard where you can. It's the actually you'll like this. The gravestones contain a monitor on them where you have an encrypted key as the family person where you can access a live stream of watching the decomposing body of your loved one.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that comforting? So that's what the movie's about.
They probably got you on a subscription for that. Too.
Exactly. Well, and this is the thing is then the data gets breached or whatever, and then oh boy, it's all a bunch. Then there's a bunch of like espionage shit happening that I didn't care as much about. But the like sort of the tech, like that sort of that's the good Cronenberg shit I love of like introducing this very bizarre tech like idea and then just kind of thinking about it. So Elzit Throw, we were saying that Vincent Cassel looks like David Cronenberg, the director. Here, so there's Vincent Cassel, and then let's look at what David Cronenberg looks like. Let me move. Yeah, see, so yeah, so yeah. But I love Cronenberg. I mean, would you consider him one of your guys in the Mark Maron sense?
He's the man.
Yeah. What's your favorite Cronenberg?
Ooh, man, you know what I really like? I like Shivers. I saw that a couple years ago for the first time, and I thought that was so good.
I don't think I've seen Shivers. I've seen
the one where they're
Rabid.
in like the high rise. Yeah.
Yeah, Rabid's like around the same sort of era, and I've seen The Brood and all like the early 70s stuff.
Yeah, Dead Ringers and all that.
Oh yeah, Dead Ringers.
Super good.
I mean, Scanners.
Nightbreed, of course.
Scanners is one of my. I mean, The Fly is my favorite, even though it's like an obvious choice.
The Fly
but...
is so good. The Fly 2 actually very good too. It has some really gross scenes in it. I love it a lot.
Okay, I need to check out The Fly too.
Yeah.
I should watch it because I also do love a good. It's not as good as the original, but it's still pretty good, like sequel. You know, or although some people would say Exorcist 3 is better than Exorcist 1, but I'm not quite that far. But I do love Exorcist 3. Gremlins 2. I really love Scanners as well, though, for Cronenberg.
Scanners.
And what I love about it
Banger.
is how much that horror is just like the acting, you know, like it's all just like making your eyes go like that and bug out, and like that's all that's doing. I mean, like there's a little bit of sometimes, you know, they add some, but like the veins bulging out of their heads. Okay, Fly 2 on USA Network at 2 a.m. as a kid. Fuck me
it's
up.
it's a nasty one.
I mean, the Fly actually was one that I didn't watch until a few years ago as well. And I was really just kind of blown away. Like, I wasn't aware of how small of a movie it kind of is. Like, it's really just like 3 characters. Like, there's other little, people, but like, and how much is actually tied into that relationship with Gina Davis and how good that whole like thing is. That's really great. But we should talk more about Cure, I guess. So we have Koji Yakusho, who is now, he's great, and Masato Hagiwara. I just try my best with these names, and we just call it good enough.
All you can do.
He who plays the Mamiya, the not even the killer, but the weird guy. I mean,
yeah,
the guy who, like, what would you charge him with? They say they're charging him with incitement, I guess. But this is the guy who just goes and, actually, I really love Will Menaker's Letterboxd review of this movie, where he's like a guy that just like annoys you by asking too many questions until you want to go kill somebody.
Yeah, you can't even punch him because he has like a disease or something.
Yeah, he's like got a big burn.
You have to put
somehow.
up with him.
Yeah. So he had a really interesting working relationship with Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Oh, Mamiya's sweater is a vibe. I agree, Young Comic Sans. That is a great look, his sweater. He had done so he's a young actor. Originally, when Kiyoshi Kurosawa was conceiving it and he wrote the script, he had thought that the cop would be like early 30s, like a younger cop, and that the Mamiya character would actually be like an older guy, like in his 50s or something. But because Koji Yakusho was a bit more a little more middle age, they went with the other way and they got a really young actor to play him. And so he had played like another sociopathic character, like, and got to good reviews and people liked it, in some other Japanese movie that I don't know. And so he was like excited to do this role because he's like, okay, I can do this. This is like my thing. And then he gets on set and Kiyoshi Kurosawa was like, yeah, don't do any of that. No, take all that away. That was like the whole thing. Like, the most like that he directed him was like, don't do any of the stuff that you want to do, like, and just try to do as little as, and like, I think and then there's another interview with the actor where he talks, it's frustrating for him because he would be like pissed off, where he's like, I'm just gonna do as little as possible, and then it would be like, that's perfect, I love it. It's like the actor being like, oh, let's see how little I can do. But then I think eventually he got sort of the game that he was trying to present of like, what a sort of like this, the whole idea is that this guy's a blank vessel, right? So how do you play a blank vessel? And then the contrast to Koji Yakusho's character, who's always silently looking at shit. Like 80% of his performance in this movie, he's not even talking, he's just like looking very pensively. And you know that there's a lot happening in his mind, but you don't know what it is. And you contrast that with this other guy who everybody's constantly trying to figure out what his deal is, and he doesn't know, and he just wants to know who you are, is what he keeps saying. He doesn't have anything going on with himself, or he doesn't seem to. And that's sort of our main, protagonist and antagonist, so to speak. But it's a cool journey, as because it's that thing of, as you get closer to this and as you investigate it, it's going to infect you more, right?
Yeah.
And
what a cool ass fucking movie. I'm so mad at myself for not watching it sooner. Because it's so good.
Well, and what you'll find is if you want to watch it again, it's great. It's great on a rewatch too. And I think actually, so another one of the special features, and I should say that if people have Criterion Channel subscriptions, they have all these special features, and they have a really, really amazing. And I was hoping it would be on YouTube so I could link it, but it's not. It's just on the Criterion Channel. They have like a video essay called parentheses, There Is No Cure, and it's by Alexandra Philippe, and it's all about just the subliminal messaging in the movie. Like how the movie just gets you, like, and he's talking about like the more he rewatches it, the more he like, it goes earlier and earlier and earlier in the movie where he's like, wait, is that a thing? Is that, because you just find these repeated motifs, like the flashing lights.
Yeah.
or repeated droning noises, the dryer that his wife keeps starting, his mentally ill wife.
All of that shit did not even occur to me until like the last like third of the movie, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was rewatching this video essay, and they mentioned that the dryer sound actually in the first interrogation, not even with Mamiya, the interrogation with the cop that killed his partner or whatever, that it's, you can hear, and I so when I watched the movie again after I watched it like 2 or 3 times this week, and I was listening for it, and it's in the middle of that scene. The dryer sound is in the mix. There's just like the same sound of the dryer that you heard like a scene or two before, and it's just like it's already infecting. It's like it's already getting under your skin. And also the other thing about the movie is the like quick cuts to completely different. Who even is this person? Where even are we? And that happens so many times.
Yeah,
it's pretty disorienting, but it's also fun because you start to like piece it together. In a really cool way, like when you're like, who is this character, and then you start to see how that like they first show you the like the GP, the doctor, the woman doctor, and they first show her seeing another patient before they even show that this is the doctor that's going to treat our crazy guy Mamiya. Have I seen Chime? I haven't seen Chime. That's one of Kurosawa's from last year, right? He did Chime and Cloud. I've been trying to track those down. But I haven't seen Chime yet. The only other Kiyoshi Kurosawa, I believe, that I've seen is Pulse. Have you seen Pulse, Mike? Because that had a bad American remake as well that maybe you've seen.
I have not seen that one though.
It's a kind of it's a cool. It's like a more traditional of a J horror, I would say. It's more in the in the vein of Ringu or Ju-On the Grudge, which is Ju-On the Grudge and Ju-On the Grudge 2 are my favorite J horrors. I mean, like my favorite Cure is my favorite J horror, but like of that, like the sort of what we, especially from the 90s on, what we like think of when we think of Japanese horror. Oh, okay, sweet. We're gonna get Cloud on Criterion. I'm very excited for that.
Did you ever see The Eye from 2002? Is
I don't think
Hang
so.
Brothers movie. I think it's Chinese, but it's 2002. Lady gets like an eye transplant or something. She starts seeing ghosts. Very good movie.
Oh, I'm gonna add this to the watch list right now. No, that sounds awesome. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I mean, I actually modern Chinese horror. That's one that I'm not as.
It's another avenue you gotta go down. There's too many movies out there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do I know about Koji Shirashi? Found footage horror. Oh, found footage horror. Found footage horror. I'm not a huge found footage horror. That's not my bag, but I mean, I could be persuaded. I could give it a chance. You are owned? No, you're not owned. But yeah, so there's something that's like in the first third of the movie as they're getting onto his trail that you also sort of reveal sort of like the mechanics of because I guess we haven't even said that like the whole thing with the movie's about is that this guy that can hypnotize people to kill people in their lives or whatever somehow, and they show the sort of mechanics of that happening like more and more. It almost like goes backwards, like where they first show like the guy just like killing somebody, you're not really sure why. It's and also the music is so good at the beginning where it's like this really jaunty piano.
That's so fun.
And this first guy that you see in the movie is just walking down a train tunnel where there are lights flashing all over the place. Lights flashing here, lights flashing there. And
the light on top of the car and stuff. I mean, I never put it together until after it was over.
I mean, there's so many cool ones. There's like the really long extended scene in the really weird dark hospital where they like keep him for so much of the movie, in his like cell or whatever, where
Yeah.
he's interviewing him. There's like the, whatever you want to call it, like the background where it's like a little sunken in that room there, and there's a light bulb that's just like just barely poking down below, like, you know, from where the door frame. From where you see it, and just like that, how that's like just kind of hanging below, that makes it kind of flicker as well. So there's like a flickering light there too, like you see it, it's everywhere. It's in the like in the police box, they show like the light is flashing on the walkie-talkie before he picks it up, and there's like, they make a point of showing all these. There's another time where he goes to the dry cleaner at the end, and they like can't find his dry cleaning or whatever, and he turns just to the side, and if you like, or the first time you watch, you're like, yeah, he's just like looking over there, but then you watch again and you see that there's another window that's like in that same room, and there is like some fucking thing with the pendulum that's just swinging, like it's a clock or something. And so it's like there's always some hypnotism happening somewhere. And that's just very cool stuff. I mean, and I think that this is why a lot of people talk about this as being one of the scariest horror movies, because people actually get afraid of the movie itself. Like, people talk about not even wanting to keep looking at the movie because they're afraid the movie's gonna like get them.
It's an unsettling vibe, which I
yeah.
liked it.
And the killing is right at the beginning, where he kills the sex worker, that guy. It's with the jaunty piano playing. Kiyoshi Kurosawa talks in interviews about how that was really very, very intentional, to be like, so for the rest of the movie, if you're in a scene with people, it could happen at any time. Somebody could go up and just kill somebody. And he's like, I wanted to have that sort of, have you that on edge the whole time, that just somebody could get up and kill someone at any moment.
Really, because it's never clear when it happens or whatever. They're just going about their day, which I guess is the point, but they're just walking around the scene and then picking up a weapon or something.
Yeah, and then when you try to talk to them about it afterwards, like, they don't even really remember it, right? Like, it's like they completely have a fugue state. Another really cool thing is that, so there's also lots of allusions or references, and there's actually 2 different Psycho shower scene references, where in the beginning, after the guy kills her with the pipe, it cuts to him in the shower, and it's really funny because it's like centered on his little butt. It's like, but it's like blood, like just dripping on the shower curtain. There's just blood everywhere, and he's like, and it like goes down, and you see all the blood that's dripping from the shower curtain in the bathtub over the edge, and that was sort of like a subversion of the Psycho shower scene, because it's like the viewer is watching the killer in the shower instead of the victim being in the shower, which is kind of cool. And then later, when they see the picture of, I forget the Japanese guy from the late 1800s name, and it's behind also behind a shower curtain, where it's like, again, and that's like sort of patient 0 or whatever of cure, that they find.
I didn't even notice that.
To be fair, I didn't notice that. That was also in that cool video essay I was talking about. So I'm taking credit for it, but so something that's really interesting about the mechanics, again, of this hypnotism to me is, you know, they make a point of the thing that you always hear about hypnotism, that you can't be hypnotized to do something that you don't want to do, right? And it's almost like you're making a movie where you're going to hypnotize people to kill people. That's the first thing somebody's going to say in response. Well, you can't do something that you don't want to do, so that's why you can't just, like, that's why that doesn't happen, you know, or at least we don't hear about it in the real world. And I think what sort of Koji Yakusho's like mining here, he's going after, is that, like, I love that when he finds Mamiya's research or whatever, it's all about animal magnetism and stuff, and it's like that primal sort of thing is in us. Like, you have that ability to just be a killer, like, at any time, like any of us, and that's a scary thing to think about, both for someone else doing it to you, or like even, but also the, you know, the potential in yourself, to have that level of, you don't want to think that you have that level of darkness, and so when I talk about like them showing, you know, the mechanics of how this happen, another thing that always happens is you see they make a point of showing like a resentment that that person has. And the big thing that we have with our protagonist is his wife, that he has to care for, who is actually, that's the very first thing we see in the movie is her at her doctor, where she goes to this specialist that the very bad police psychiatrist recommended, who is like, it's nothing. And he's the one who gets very owned. He gets very, very owned. But yeah, so she's, you know, he has to do a lot to care for her, and then he's also doing this very, you know, dark, depressing homicide detective job.
What does she have? She has Alzheimer's or something, right?
Well, they don't even really say.
Schizophrenia or something?
Yeah. I do think it is maybe something with schizophrenia, like, adjacent. And she, like, there's another point where he has to go off looking for her because she got lost coming back from the store. Like, she has, like, memory issues. And and so she's... And it's they also have lines that it's been going on for a while. And so this is once, like, he becomes inextricably, like, colliding with Mamiya like this, it's like, well, we know where he's gonna go. Like, we know what he's gonna try to send him after, and he does. Yeah. He, like, say, oh, so your wife isn't doing well or whatever, and like he just has a way of getting this information and going after that point of you. But yeah, like, the cops, they make the point of showing that the one cop is a real hard ass that doesn't want to smoke in the police box, and he's a goody kind of, and the other one's more laid back. And so you can kind of fill in the blanks of, like, okay, so this is what he's probably latched onto here. With that woman doctor, it was that she gets treated very sexistly by her male patients. Like, she's trying to just do a lymph node checks, and somebody's like, oh, wow, you're gonna go in my pants or whatever. And they, like, that's the first scene they show with her. And then when she kills, that's the most brutal killing, by the way, I think. The one that she does in that bathroom.
Yeah, that was... made me feel like when I saw the... what was the one with... oh, shit. With the... Now I'm blanking on it. The guy goes on a date with the chick, and she, like, fucking garrotes his fucking ass. What is that called? Fuck.
Audition.
Audition
is great.
I typed in The Appointment.
Have you seen Ichi the Killer as well? Also.
Yeah.
That one's also extremely bloody. The fucking, like, slicing people down the center, like, that type of shit.
So
like,
good.
Yeah, and another huge influence that Kiyoshi Kurosawa shouts out on this movie is Silence of the Lambs. And what he was specifically interested in there is how the most dangerous character is, you know, confined. Is it behind bars through most of it until he breaks out. But, like, even when he's completely confined, he still feels so dangerous. And it was like, how can we do this with a character that's just, like, he's not even doing the, like, Clarice. he's just like staring at you with a blank stare.
Yeah, he's asking a bunch of questions. It's so crazy.
But there's just something else going on with him. There's just something deeper going on there. And he's quite a guy. So yeah, I mean, it starts, like I said, it starts as a conventional cop movie. Okay, and then once he's in the, he's in the room with him, that's when, especially when you come back for rewatches, you start to really question what's actually happening, what's not. Like, there's some things that are just, like, weird. Like, when he goes to that, when he's, like, doing the, like, interrogation with, like, the whole room of cops, and the, like, the headquarters guy is, like, talking to him. It's, like, so weird. Just everything, like, who are all those guys? Like, I've never seen any of these cops before. Who are they? And then he turns to the detective there, and he says, can you hear me right now? If you can, that means you're one of the special ones or something like that.
He's so charismatic.
Because
laying it on thick.
I mean, I also do think that it's well, whatever. So what do you think is the deal with this disease, or this cure rather? Like what's that actually about? From one viewing.
Shit. Shit, I don't know.
There are wrong answers. No, there aren't.
I don't know. What it was I feel like it was very It Follows like.
Yeah.
And it's because it's just like almost like a disease or whatever, like in that way. It's which I don't know if you like that at all, but that was
Oh no, I loved
fives,
It Follows. Yeah, I mean, and that's that's a great. I bet you It Follows was really inspired by this movie. I wouldn't be surprised, because it is like, what's scary about It Follows is that it doesn't end, right? Like, it's not like you kill Freddy Krueger, you kill Jason, like it's all good.
Oh, God.
It just keeps jumping to the next.
You never know if it's
guy.
over or whatever.
Speaking of jumping, let's jump right all the way to the end, and we'll still fill in the rest in the last 20 minutes here or so. But how about that ending? I mean, because that, to me, that is what really makes it, is just that ending. What'd you think of that?
That was so good, man. What a surprise! I was like, oh shit, here it is. I don't want to spoil it, but
I mean, no, we can spoil it. It's fine. I mean, here, go like this real quick. I'll do the like deaf applause when it's time for you to unmute. But again, so well, first of all, the way that he's sitting at the cafe is like, and he's been in that exact same seat earlier in the movie too, where he's in his like old detective gear. He's rumpled and he's like, oh my God, he looks so tortured. When he drops his wife off at the hospital and the doctor's like, you look worse than your wife. He's like, he looks like a mess, especially as he gets deeper and deeper in this thing. And then in the last scene, he looks so cool. Like, he is like having.
Yeah, so it's like, is he
calm.
Hypnotized or something to like?
Or so has he been cured? Right? Has it gone to him and now he's cured? Right? Or he's the source now because he killed Mamiya. Spoiler. But yeah, then his waitress. You see the waitress, just like, again. Someone, presumably like her manager or somebody, comes over and like whispers something in her ear real quick and like walks away, and that's all you need. It's like she has some sort of resentment or something there, and then she just goes, picks up a knife, and just abrupt cut. They don't even show the
that's
murder.
So good.
And it's just like it's still going. It's still alive, and that's scary.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Something that on these recent rewatches that I want to dig a little deeper into, because I don't know enough about it, and I really quick read the plot synopsis, but it's about Bluebeard, that fairy tale that she's reading.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look that up after I watched it. I didn't.
So let's see. Do I still have that wiki open? Basically, the story of it, it's like there's a few different versions of it that are like in different cultures and stuff, but it's like a guy that tricks women to marry him, and then he like kills them, and he just keeps like having a bunch of dead wives, and then this one girl actually outsmarts him somehow, or gets her revenge in the end, and then she gets his stuff. But it's it's kind of a brutal, but there is something about like capturing, and then as they're killed, then you need to capture someone else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I mean, and then also spoiler, I mean, that also when that quick shot of her at the very end, right before that's the last thing you see before you're in the restaurant. It's just her being wheeled and having the X. I mean, that X is just, what a great like choice, and
an immediate cut to him he's just eating.
He's just having the time of his life. He looks the most calm he has in the whole damn movie. But I didn't a famous thing I love to do is not finish my thoughts, but the woman doctor's murder being the most brutal, because first you see like the guy and he's bleeding and he's got the X on his throat and on the floor. And that's gross enough. That's already really gross. and then she starts peeling back his
face off.
And that is the
was
grossest part of the movie. But it is like, yeah, it's there's something, you know, but it's also like where you really start to get into the conversation that Mamiya has to sort of get people in the spell when he's talking to her, and he's like, you cut into dead people in medical school and stuff like that, and he's giving all the plants of like, you can already do this, like you already want to do this kind of thing. And it's, yeah, and something that I always have to, or not always, but it's fun to often, especially with a movie you really like and you've watched a lot and that you know is doing a great job as a movie doing storytelling, is how does the movie itself like existing tie into that message as well. Oh, thank you for that subliminal message. I really appreciate it, Dog Kisser. Thank you for the subliminal messages. I'm gonna Xbox. I want to play Xbox all of a sudden. Like how does this movie map onto watching a horror movie or watching something that infects you? Like, I don't know. And I think that's sort of that way that people would get scared of the movie itself actually having the power on them.
Yeah.
It's like, does The Cure mimic something? I don't know what. I'm trying to sound smart again. That's what I try to do a lot on the show, is just try to sound smart. I will say another thing. So, my favorite special feature on the Criterion disc is about a 30-minute conversation between Kiyoshi Kurosawa and his protege, my favorite current director directing today, Ryusuke Homaguchi, who directed Evil Does Not Exist and Drive My Car. And he's a really, really cool director as well. And it's the two of them in conversation about the movie. And he talks about how he has, like, some canned lines that he gives in interviews about this. And he's like, this is what I've come up with as my answer over years. But it's also kind of true. But, like, sort of the basic genesis of the idea for this movie came from, you know, that classic thing of watching a news report after a killing and, you know, the neighbors, he's such a nice guy, he was such a normal guy or whatever. Yeah. And he says that the assumption's always, well, that person secretly had a double life where they're secretly a monster or whatever. But what if it was just somebody that is otherwise normal, you know, completely kind and humane, and then just uncontrollably does this somehow? Yeah. How would that look? And that was sort of the jumping off point. And he said that that's sort of like what he's come to say over time. And he's like, and it probably was true, but it like wasn't consciously necessarily what he was thinking. But that was, as he was sort of making the movie, kind of where he wanted to explore. And like there's a way to do that. And if this was an American movie, maybe like at the time, even like with a good director, they would make it so much more direct, like so much simpler or decipherable. They would have really nailed down the lore in a very clear way, rather than suggesting, oh, sometimes if the water's dripping, or sometimes if there's a light.
It's fun to imagine how fucking stupid it would be if it were remade, and like any of these great movies were remade.
Well, you could watch his Pulse American and then audiences. Watch the American Pulse starring Kristen Bell. That sucks ass. Yeah, I mean, I would say like The Ring is one of the only good American remakes of a Japanese horror.
I think my earliest exposure to that was the Army of Darkness alternate ending or whatever, where he's like trapped in back in time or something like that. And in the American ending, he's like back in the store or whatever. Yeah. Present day or whatever.
Yeah. That ending is always very cheesy. Yeah. Well, I mean, but the whole movie is too. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, when he goes back to the store. Okay, so that was all added for the American audience. That whole part. Yeah, I don't think I ever knew that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense. But yeah, the movie might have done better in Japan as well. I should say, if he did make it that way, because it was not an initial success. It didn't do that well financially.
Wow.
People were confused by it. I mean, Ryusuke Hamaguchi in the interview says that the first time he saw it like in college or as a young person, and he was like, I liked it. He didn't dislike it, but he was just like, didn't think he fully understood it. And it wasn't until he revisited it, and now he's just like, the way that he talks about it, he's like, every detail of the movie. Something that strikes me is that the weather is perfect in every scene. Every scene has the perfect weather. The wind blows his coat in the perfect way. It's perfectly overcast on the beach when Mamiya first shows up. And he's kind of right. But it's like, and so, but it just, his first watch kind of, he was just like, huh. Like, and I think that that's a common experience. I mean, and where I almost wonder, I was a little nervous that maybe you'd be like, why has everybody always recommended me this movie? Because I think that it could easily, because it has such a rep now, make people be like, huh? Or it's the other side of that is now they're watching it knowing it has this reputation, and so they're starting to see what all those things are.
There's some weight behind watching it. It's not just a put it on and look at your phone for 90 minutes or whatever.
I didn't know that Evil Does Not Exist was partly inspired by Cure. That is interesting. You might like Evil Does Not Exist, Mike. I don't think you would like Drive My Car. Because I'll tell you what it's about. Drive My Car is a movie about a guy who he finds out his wife, who is a writer, a big screenwriter, and he's a big theater director. And she has been sleeping with the star of the show that she writes, the TV show. And he finds this out, but she doesn't know. And then she dies, and he is sort of indirectly responsible for her death. Then several months later, the director is, I shouldn't say indirectly responsible. He could have acted sooner to help her, but he was in his feelings. Anyway, he's directing a production of Uncle Vanya for a theater festival. I forget where exactly, but his style of directing is he directs people from all different countries and nationalities, and everybody speaks their own native language, and they have subtitles around the stage of all the different languages that people speak or whatever, so you can follow along, which is just interesting. And then he cast that actor that his wife was cheating on him, who's now dead. He casts the actor as the lead, and then there's all this other stuff that happens. And he drives a car a lot to think, to meditate, and he's also he acts as well, and he does that to memorize lines too. And he has a vision issue now, where now he can't drive himself, and so the theater festival hires a driver for him. And the movie is about him bonding with his driver, figuring out what's going on with this actor, and this play. So does that seem like a DB movie? Does that seem like, is that future Mike Tober?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one of my favorite movies of the past several years. But Evil Does Not Exist is a little bit more accessible, maybe, in the fact that it is it's just kind of a small rural community that, you know, are very tight knit, and then these like awful they're actually a talent management company wants to open up a glamping location, and the community's kind of like, what the fuck, and it's all about that. And it also has a great ending as well, that movie. But yeah, that's so what I love though is just Kiyoshi Kurosawa is amazing, and then here's his protege who started as assistant director, and it was as film professor, and now they it's like the torch is passed, and they're contemporaries. And that's sort of the thing that I like most in getting into movies, is just going back in time and finding all those things. Like there's like just endless connections and like weird, you know, it could be trivia, but it also just makes you rethink what went into creating the movie and stuff like that. Well,
it's so nice to go down one of these long rabbit holes. I mean, the Yakuza movies also, and so many of them I haven't seen yet and stuff. I mean, I've seen Outrage and all those movies.
Yeah, I think
but,
I have a lot more Yakuza movies that I need to watch as well. I just recently bought a because it was on that Apple TV store where they have it was like a pack of 6 Sonny Chiba movies for either $5 or $10. So I was just like, fuck, I'll just buy that. And I've only watched one of them, and it was really good. But they're like not even the really well-known Sonny Chiba movies. They're just a bunch of... One's called like The Bodyguard. Not that one. not the Kevin Costner one. Wait, what other Yakuza thing I've been watching lately? Hang on, I gotta go into my recently watched.
I know there needs to be a better way of keeping track of what movies I've seen versus that's not going through Plex and most recent viewed or whatever. Some sort of journal.
As I go to my diary and Letterboxd, I'm scrolling it right now. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? And it's a yeah, and it was actually a Chinese movie, but it was the Triads that I was thinking of. Election. Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
That's a really, really good. I just watched that a couple weeks ago. Johnny To, who's a great director. He directed like The Heroic Trio and Executioners, which are the ones with Michelle Yeoh, and they're like badass superhero ladies. But Election is like about choosing the new leader of the Triad gang, basically, and it's like a whole bunch of jockeying and shit, and it's awesome. That movie kicked ass. I've been thinking about it since I watched that. But yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of like the recent crime movie that I watched. Maybe there's something else, but I mean, it was Pale Flower as well, because Shinoda, who directed Demon Pond, that was a really cool Yakuza film as well. That gets a little weird. I like it when it gets a little weird. It has to get a little weird for me to really enjoy it. Mike, is there anything else that we need to cover in this great movie that I'm sure there is, but what the fuck do we know?
I think we covered it top to bottom. I gotta have to rewatch it again.
Do it. Yeah, I mean, I really, really love this movie. Like I say, this is one that I basically recommend this one to everyone. When people are like, "What's another good Japanese movie?" This is in the first 5, I will say, including Seven Samurai, including High and Low, which I should say those. If you haven't seen all the like classic Kurosawa movies, I mean, you do have to watch this. Have you seen High and Low?
I've not seen High and Low.
See,
my watch was just so fucking long.
And Mike, you know, High and Low you can watch, and then you have the Spike Lee remake coming out later this year, Highest to Lowest, starring Denzel Washington. It also has Ice Spice in it. So I am actually
that is real. I thought it was maybe a joke.
I'm actually really looking forward to that. I've heard that it's kind of it was screened at Cannes out of competition, and the reviews weren't as bad as or they really weren't bad at all. I mean, compared to Spike Lee's Old Boy, which is an abomination.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spike Lee remakes of great movies, although Old Boy's not my favorite Park Chan-wook. Is that a hot take?
You don't like?
I mean, I like it,
yeah.
but I think I love Decision to Leave and the one with all the sex, the one with all the lesbian sex. That's not why I love it, but there is a lot of it in it. I can't think of the name right now. Somebody's gonna say Handmaiden, right? Handmaiden is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Handmaid. Okay, good. That people knew what I was talking about. Well, I always say, I mean, this is an offer to everyone that ever guests on the show, and also anyone that just interacts with me online in any way. I love to recommend movies, so if you are wanting, I mean, I know you have a long list already, but anybody ever wants a movie rec, I am here for doing that at any time. Mike, is there anything, I mean, obviously, people love, thank you for the follow, Qualredino. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the follows today, everybody. People know to go to Your Kickstarter Sucks and everything. Is there anything else you would like to plug?
I think that's it. Movie night with Big Hal and
Yep.
DB every Wednesday at Big Hal.
Such a good time.
On Big Hal's Twitch.
Such a good
That's so
time.
nice.
We love movie night. We love Howl here.
We love Big Hal.
God, I love. Oh my God, I was so happy that Big Howl figured out how to do his amazing AI generated voice Twitch story that he made. He was trying to do on Fleets, and then it fucked up on Fleets. He couldn't do it, but he posted it yesterday, and I watched it like 10 times. It was so good.
He's so talented. What a talented guy.
Is there anything he can't do? He just shares some of that talent with the rest of us.
Crazy guy.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Next week, we will be back. Banmel Tak. Okay, thank you, Young Comic Sans. I will actually add that to my watch list. Banmel Takahashi's Door. Sounds really good. I mean, I don't know. It sounds intriguing. One name title. I like how it's anyone who likes Cure, watch Door. What's next? For Eeyore? Check out Eeyore. Anyway, next week, we're going to be at the Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and our guest will be joined by the great Jane Aust from the Batting Around podcast, and we will be discussing Sunset Boulevard, the movie always cited anytime a certain president is complaining about the movies today. He always says, "Whatever happened to Sunset Boulevard?" I don't know if he's actually seen it. It's a great movie. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Thank you for all the follows, everybody. Join me again if you did enjoy everything and you would like to subscribe. I would be very appreciative. I am doing multiple streams every week now, including a really stupid new weekly format. It's called the Sunday Night Scaries, except it was on Saturday this week. And I have so far been I channel and get possessed by dead Hollywood cultural icons. So far, I've been possessed by Truman Capote and Robert Goulet. And next week, next Sunday Night Scary, I have a feeling that fans of the Columbo series may like Who Possesses Me next Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. If you're at all curious what those are about and you want to see, the first two streams are on my VOD channel on my YouTube up here, which please also subscribe. I just appreciate that number going up if you can. And lastly, we have a Discord. Hang on. And I have a Discord where you can come and talk about movies. Nope, I spelled it wrong. Okay, there. Discord, like coring an apple. So yeah, if you want to join and chat about movies, you can join us in there. And that's all, I believe, for this week. Thank you, everybody, so much, and have a great week. And I hope to see you again next time. Goodbye. I'm gonna raid somebody. I'm gonna keep up the David Cronenberg search while I pick a raid target here. Sure, let's raid Chapo. Why not? Say hi to Chapo, everybody. Yeah. And we'll see you all next time.
See ya.